don't want to fight no gritty fighter. The reason why he pulled out of this one, track history.
You think he went all the way to the day of and then pull out?
I know. Africa, stop acting scary, bro. Stop acting scary. You ain't scared, right? Okay, stop acting like it. I know what happened, bro.
So it wasn't no food poisoning. Like, it's safe to say that in your opinion.
Laughing, bro. Stop laughing with your secrets, bro. He got his secrets laughing. He over here laughing with his secrets.
You won't throwing up. Cut it out. You won't throwing up. You ain't get no food poisoning. Where? Nigga, we're in America. How you get food poisoning? All of a sudden, the day of the fight. Stop playing, bro. Make it make sense. If it was me, I would have not made the rehydration clause weight. You already made weight at the weigh-ins.
Right.
So you're saying he should have just ate, didn't care about the next weigh-in, lose that strap, and then fight Duarte.
You still getting paid, bro.
Right.
And at the end of the day, when it's fight night and when it's all said and done, you look good, you beat him up, everybody's gonna forget about all that. You just beat up Oscar Duarte in amazing fashion.
You think he would have won?
If he went in there feeling good, yeah.
Yeah.
So you do respect him as a fighter? Like, do you think he's a skilled fighter? Or do you?
I think he's a skilled fighter.
He called you, he said you got everything, you the package or something like that.
I think he's a skilled fighter. Right. For sure, I think he's skillful.
Yeah.
I just think he got heart problems.
Medical or? Nah.
Shit, probably both.
What it do is do it the camp sound like a land. Big boss, K-Po, talk boxing, fuck about soliloquy. No sometimes don't last. Good people do the number. Still call me if I like me matter. Peak game. 84s on what swing. You heard the audio. Keyshawn Davis goes at Richardson Hitchins for pulling out of his fight with Oscar Duarte. The question I have for y'all, do y'all agree with Keyshawn Davis? Look, Richardson Hitchins, I'm not gonna lie, this dude make you look soft, okay? When you pulled out that fight, it makes you look soft. It makes you look horrible, just as a fighter, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do stuff like that, right? You know, especially when they sitting there and, you know, all this stuff then come out and they like, hey, we saw you the day of the fight, right? You made the 10-pound weight limit or whatever it is, and, you know, then next thing you know, he got food poisoning, right? So it's like, man, I don't know, bro, like, it make you look soft. I'm just keeping it 1,000, like, you know? Now, the other stuff about, oh, he priced himself out, or, you know, it was a certain fight that they were supposed to fight each other, and Richardson Hitchins, you know, didn't want the fight, you know, hey, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about none of that. But what I do know is that as the Oscar Duarte situation, like, I'm not gonna lie, if I'm his promoter, hey, you gotta fight Oscar Duarte, like, immediately, like, the next available date, you gotta fight Oscar Duarte. Right, that's what it boils down to. Because now you didn't ruin your name, and then like they, you know, they saying like this is like a normal thing for you, like, you know, they like, oh, the jig is up, you know, like you been soft, you been bamboozling the public. That's kind of what Keyshawn Davis is alluding to, and you know, you like you do all this talking, but you really soft, and I'm like, dang. You know, so like, you know, me personally, you start talking like that, hey man, me and you finna fight, you know what I mean? But that's a whole nother ballgame. And then also Keyshawn Davis was sitting there saying he don't like Richardson Hitchins, right? Which, you know, kind of confirms what Richardson Hitchins was saying. He was like, you know, Keyshawn Davis don't really like me like that, you know? So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, like, Richardson Hitchins, in order for you to get your respect back, you gotta fight Oscar Duarte, right? And then once you get done with Oscar Duarte, look to make a Keyshawn Davis fight. Forget the Devin Haney fight, because you're not gonna get it. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You're not gonna get that fight, okay? So, instead of you focusing on Devin Haney, right? Because I genuinely I think he wanted to fight Devin Haney. He wanted that big fight, right? But the issue with that situation is that I think that they don't look at him as that caliber fighter. You know what I mean? And truthfully, like Devin Haney, like he looking at people who can help him like grow as a, you know, like his brand, if that makes sense. So that's why he got his eyes set on Xander Zayas, right? Because Xander Zayas is Puerto Rican, and you know they're able to help him grow his brand. It's all about they making business moves. That's what it boils down to. And Devin Haney and them is not gonna fight Richardson. Nah, granted, me personally as a man, when he told me if you N-word, let's fight, you a B-word and all that, Dad, make the fight. Right? That's me. But at the end of the day, looking at it from a business perspective, that's not like a mega fight. And Devin Haney's trying to make mega fights. He's trying to make fights that could grow his brand, because he know his brand. He got the accolades. Now he's trying to grow his brand to match his accolades, so he can say, look, this is why I'm the best fighter, and this is why I'm the face of boxing. That's why they still want to fight Tank, right? That's what it boils down. That's why all of them want to fight Tank, because they know if they fight Tank, that Tank, win, lose, or draw, that's going to take it to another level, because they can say, hey, I was in the ring with Tank, right? But if they beat Tank, right, which is a risk they're willing to take, then their mindset is like, look, I beat Gervonta Davis, right? This was the so-called cash cow face of boxing. You know what I mean? I beat him, you know? So then they like, okay, cool. Now I'm gonna inherit these fans, and it's gonna take my fan base to another level, if that makes sense, right? Because Tank got hip hop on lock. Tank got the basketball players, the football players. Anytime any celebrity, the man got Madonna. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not really a starstruck dude. You know what I'm saying? I see celebrities all the time. I told y'all the Charlos live by me. Well, one of them, I think Big Charlo, stay by me. I see him all the time. You know what I mean? I don't be like, oh, it's Charlo. You know what I mean? I've seen like rappers. I've seen Zero. I've seen Lil Kiki in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Slim Thug. I don't be like, oh, Slim Thug, give me a hand. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, you know? But, you know, because they're human beings. That's how I look at it. Like me, they just on a TV screen or you know, or on a computer screen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get starstruck. But all I'm saying at the end of the day, keep it thousand, keep it chill, cover down, working with Will is, when you analyze everything, bro, it's like Richardson Hitchins, bro, his brand kind of took a hit. He should have just fought Oscar Duarte, truthfully. And if he lost, then hey, you lost. You know, now granted, people gonna make fun of you, but it is what it is. It's life. You know what I'm saying? I think that, you know, I think he didn't want to fight Oscar Duarte. That's what I think. He couldn't gear himself up to fight Oscar Duarte. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. There's going to be fights that you're not motivated. Just like working out. There are days when you work out, you're not motivated, bro. Like, you just like, damn, I don't feel like doing this. But, hey, it is what it is. You got to figure it out. You know what I mean? You still got to get it done, just like in a fight. You know what I mean? You know, I've had my first fight. I told y'all this, bro. I was nervous than a mug. My first amateur fight, I was nervous. Like, I couldn't feel my legs. I was walking, but I felt like I was floating. And then, like, I couldn't hear, right? So, like, everybody, like, cheering, but I don't hear nothing. That's how nervous I was. And I'm, like, thinking to myself, my heart beating fast. And I see my opponent in the ring, he calm, right? He calm, cool, collected. This is my first fight. He had a bunch of fights under his belt. You know what I'm saying? So he just, you know, I was supposed to be his easy win. And when the bell rung, we touched gloves. You know, I'm trying to show respect, touch gloves, and he, boom! He landed one on me. Let's get it. It was over. You know what I'm saying? All the nerves went out the window. Nah, let's get it. You know what I mean? So that sometimes it take you just getting hit for you to lock in. Like, all right, bet, let's go. You know what I mean? I ain't no winning that fight by unanimous decision, by the way. Just to let y'all know. I know y'all don't care, but I'm just letting y'all know. But at the end of the day, like it take that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I just think Richardson Hitchins. I ain't making excuses for him. It definitely is. It definitely look soft. I'm not gonna lie to you. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. Y'all let me know what y'all think, boss guy.